said.
All right, so it said in the beginning, in the first... Come on, hon, move your foot, please. It said that the next story that we were to read is The Nightingale.
Is that Nightingale?
No, that's a dwarf. All right, so let's go to page 62.
52.
62. It's after Jack and the Beanstalk. Actually, I think we have to catch up. We have to reread a few from the beginning that we didn't record. All right, so here it is. The Nightingale.
Nightingale?
Adapted by Lisa Hark Writer. Illustrated by Robin Morrow. Okay. Many years ago, the Emperor of China lived in a palace surrounded by beautiful gardens. People came from all over the world to admire his home. Visitors became so enamored with the land that they wanted to see more. A local fisherman heard this and began to take...
Why?
I can't read.
Why that girl like that?
That's the Emperor of China.
Why that girl like that? Like her face.
Or maybe not the Emperor of China. Maybe that's the people from around the world. A local fisherman, blah, blah, blah. A local fisherman heard this and began to take tourists
her face like that.
on trips to the gorgeous forest. Her face is like that because she's shocked by the beautiful gardens. All right? Let's see what it says. He took them to see the ordinary-looking bird that lived there. The bird was a nightingale. See the bird?
Mm-hmm.
And though it was a relatively plain-looking gray bird, let me see, baby. Everyone who heard the nightingale's song, can I see? Can I see? Honey, you'll have to wait. I'll tell you when. Everyone who heard the nightingale's song agreed that it was lovelier than anything they had ever heard. Word of the bird's beautiful song quickly spread. All right, we had some technical difficulties. He took them to see the ordinary-looking bird that lived there. The bird was a nightingale, and though it was a relatively plain-looking gray bird, everyone who heard the nightingale's song agreed that it was lovelier than anything they had ever heard. Word of the bird's beautiful singing spread quickly. People came from near and far to visit the palace and gardens. The little nightingale became known to the people as the most beautiful thing in all of China. Everyone had heard of this remarkable bird. Now you can turn the page. Everyone, that is, except the emperor.
Or that guy.
This is the emperor. We'll find out who he is in a second. Everyone, that is, except the emperor. The emperor of China spent most of his time inside the palace. He did not know anything about the bird. One day, the emperor... Can you move your end? Come on, move.
No.
One day, the emperor... We're not doing a bunny, baby. We're reading the story. Received a letter from the emperor. One day, the emperor received a letter from the emperor of Japan. I've heard... Reading a story with a 3-year-old, I'll tell you.
My freaking thing.
Okay. I have heard about your wonderful nightingale. Stop talking when I'm reading. It's enough. I have heard about your wonderful nightingale, the Japanese emperor wrote. I will arrive in 2 days to see the bird. The Chinese emperor was puzzled. He summoned his prime minister. Have you heard of this bird? The emperor asked. No, your excellency, the prime minister said. The emperor of Japan is coming just to see and hear this nightingale, said the emperor. Search until you find it. So I think this is just a boy in a tree trying to hear the bird. All right, hold on. Hold on. We need to make sure we're turning the right page. It doesn't. All right, there we go. Thank you. The prime minister searched every inch of the palace as well as deep in the woods, but did not find the nightingale. He was about to give up hope when he came upon the fisherman. The fisherman knew exactly where to find the bird and led the prime minister right to him. The prime minister quickly returned to the palace with the bird. Soon after the emperor of Japan arrived in China for his visit. Soon after The prime minister quickly returned to the palace with the bird. Soon after, the emperor of Japan arrived in China for a visit. I can't read tonight. Apparently.
My dad.
Let's see. So, this is the nightingale, the most beautiful thing in all of China, said the emperor of Japan. I must say, he looks rather plain. Let me see. As soon as those words, can I see? As soon as those words left the Japanese emperor's mouth, the nightingale began to sing. The emperor of Japan, I can't see, was speechless. The Chinese emperor cried tears of joy. I must find a way to thank you for allowing me to hear your nightingale song, declared the emperor of Japan. After the Japanese emperor left, the nightingale remained in the palace, and day after day, crowds of people came to hear his beautiful music. You want to turn a page, or are you going to keep trying to put your finger in my camera? There we go. Good job. Although everyone loved the nightingale song, some visitors complained that the bird did not look as lovely as he sounded. This upset the emperor. Addison, I need you to stop. I will not have people saying unkind words about the nightingale, he said. So he gave the bird a golden perch to sit on, and he adorned the nightingale with ribbons and jewels. The nightingale finally looked as beautiful as he sounded. You see the nightingale in the cage? That's the emperor, Addison. If you were paying attention instead of trying to make birds in my camera lens, you would know that that's the emperor. All right, next page. After a while, the little bird began to look tired and sad. The emperor brought the nightingale into his private chambers. The emperor drifted off to sleep each night to the bird's soft lullaby. Luckily, the nightingale was happy to sing peacefully in the emperor's chamber. They were a perfect match, and they became fast friends. Then one day, a present arrived for the emperor.
Is that chicken pox?
Here, it's not a chicken pox. Here, turn a page. Thank you. The present was from the emperor of Japan, who wrote, "This is a gift. This gift is but a tiny token compared to the great joy your nightingale song gave to me." The Chinese emperor was amazed to find that his gift was a mechanical replica of the nightingale. Only this version was brightly colored and encrusted with exquisite green emeralds, red rubies, blue sapphires. This new bird also had a bright silver key struck into his back. So it's like a music box.
Mm-hmm.
When the emperor wound the key, the mechanical bird began to sing. It was the same as one of the nightingale songs. It did not sound quite as lovely as the real nightingale, and only sang one song, but still the emperor was pleased. The people of the kingdom were thrilled with the mechanical bird. Finally, a nightingale that looks just as lovely as it sounds, they all said. Everyone became so enamored with the new bird that they all began to ignore the real nightingale, so he flew home to the forest. "It is for the best," the emperor said. "Surely he is happier in the forest." This is a long one. One morning, with a loud twang and a pop, the mechanical bird suddenly stopped singing. "A spring has broken," said the emperor's repairman. "I can fix it, but from now on it may only be wound on special occasions." Over time, the emperor grew ill. The old fisherman heard of the illness and went to tell the nightingale. The bird then flew directly to the palace to see his old friend. He perched on the foot of the emperor's bed and began to sing his beautiful song. "You came back," the emperor said. He sat up in bed, and the color returned to his cheeks. The nightingale sang even more beautifully upon seeing the emperor's spirit rise. After that, the two friends never parted. The emperor cherished the nightingale, and the nightingale gladly sang his melodies in the peace of the kind emperor's chambers. And that's it. That's the end. So what happened at the end of the story, Addison?
You wasn't paying attention. You read that then?
The Nightingale and the emperor became best friends, right?
Yeah, Piggy.
Okay, thanks. The end.